What's going on, guys? Greek Freak here, and in this video we are going to be talking about a huge NBA trade rumor. Now this is something that's just going around basically, I guess, because of what has directly happened. Now, as we all know, Anthony Davis has signed with Klutch Sports and LeBron James' agent, so very much rumors are now starting to go around that he may join the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, usually at first I would never take this into any type of consideration that just because he signed with an agent, but in many cases we have to look at what did just happen this offseason. Now, as we all know, he ended up, after Boogie Cousins went down, had a great, spectacular half of basketball where he averaged 28 points per game, 11 rebounds, 2.6 blocks, and 1.5 steals per game. Now, with that, he was third in MVP voting and just did very great. And with that, he very much felt that their team could have very much competed with Boogie Cousins and was really ready for him to return for this next upcoming season. But as we all know, Boogie Cousins tearing his Achilles, with many people very much questioning whether a player can come back from that at his size. The Pelicans really didn't make an offer, and many other teams didn't, and he ended up going to Golden State. That may be the main reason why I believe that this NBA trade rumor could actually happen. Now, as far as the situation, obviously, with Anthony Davis, the way that he's playing, there's no way that the Pelicans would want to trade him. But, as we all know, he's been a willing participant of wanting to play for the Pelicans and staying on that team. But with that huge move that just happened, being betrayed to that situation, Rondo leaving, all that, it really just seems like he's only made the playoffs twice, and there's been gaps as far as the years that he's went there. So this is very much a questioning, and it's really looking like it's going to be another year no playoffs, unless he has an even more bigger year this year. But even with that, you have to question where the Pelicans are, because they're in really the spot you don't want to be in the Eastern Conference, which is, in the Western Conference, which is being the middle of the pack, being a team that's barely making the playoffs to not making it, because you're not getting good draft picks, and then you're not getting far in the playoffs. So, as we all know, they did great in the playoffs, sweeping the Portland Trail Blazers in the first round. They just pulled off very great wins, and Anthony Davis really showed up, showing the fact that he was ready to very much showcase his skills as far as everything to go out. He's great on the defensive end, like I've mentioned before in a previous video. I thought the fact that he should have won Defensive Player of the Year last season, and with this season, obviously top 3 in MVP because of just his great offensive and all-around performance on the basketball court. Now, as far as what this could mean, like I mentioned, I very much think that this team could be struggling to make the playoffs, and if that's the case, Anthony Davis may get tired of this type of up and down inconsistency, and knowing the fact that not many people are just lining up to go to New Orleans, may demand a trade to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the one major not winning benefit for him would be the fact that he does have a couple years left on his deal, so it would have to be a trade, and the Lakers would have to pursue this trade. Now, I believe, obviously, if you have a player at Anthony Davis's skill level at his age, you have to go out there and make the trade for it. So I really could see this, unlike other team players that we saw, Jimmy Butler's things such as that for the one-year rentals and things that they believe they can get on the offseason, they would make this trade for an Anthony Davis, knowing the fact that this is a for sure wanting to stay type player. We know many of what they do have, but obviously they have inside sights of it with having his agent being LeBron James' agent as well. These are obviously small things that technically they can maneuver around, and with that we have to look at the fact that they do have, of course, assets that the Pelicans would be looking into using. They could obviously trade some of their young talent, and I think the fact that they would be willing to with an Anthony Davis, especially considering the fact that they do have enough cap space to also sign another big-time agent over the offseason as well. So it's not like you're getting rid of the talent and just getting Anthony Davis. You're actually going to add on to it with a Kawhi Leonard, Klay Thompson, or somebody such as that format. So with that, you're talking about a very great player that could easily make this situation. Now, of course, other teams can go in for the trade, but if the Lakers pursue out with their young talent, I don't see many other teams being able to compete with that. And of course, Anthony Davis is one of the top of the list of people that teams would want to go after. So if that actually ends up happening, I think the fact that this could happen. So guys, tell me what your guys' thoughts are on this. As far as what I believe, I think the fact that this could easily happen if he gets frustrated enough. Now, of course, this 100% will have to be instigated by Anthony Davis for this to happen. There was no chance at all that the Pelicans would be willing to trade away Anthony Davis if he really does want to stay. So, like I mentioned, it'd have to be a frustration of losing or a wanting to compete with a contender, and with the Lakers having enough cap space to be able to sign 2 max players next offseason and being able to make the trade and being able to play with a great player such as LeBron James, this easily can happen. So guys, tell me what you guys think about this. Do you think the fact that Anthony Davis will stay in New Orleans and want to keep on competing there, or do you think the fact that he would actually try to pursue out and demand a trade during this year or during next year's offseason to go to the Los Angeles Lakers? So guys, tell me what your guys' thoughts are on that. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure that you leave a like, subscribe to become part of the Great Army today. And as always, this is Sparta.